Hey guys, this is JJ Prime. I just want to do a quick update video on the Transformers Earthrise Deluxe Class Sunstreaker, because I think there are many of us who think that Sunstreaker is an extensive remold of Earthrise Wheeljack, but here's my take on the figure. Here's my perspective, okay? So, Sunstreaker, while he does share similar engineering, that doesn't necessarily mean that he is an extensive remold of Wheeljack, because if you look closely here, they have totally different arms, they have different engineering for the hands, they have, different engineering for the waist section right here for the transformation, because you have to rotate it 2 times to get into robot mode, and he does have a little bit of piece right there that flips out to become his heel spur, whereas Wheeljack does not have that. They don't even share the wheels, and but mostly for the waist section. The waist section is where people are getting confused here. So you can see from Wheeljack, his crotch, his hips, his thighs, they're done in black. You can see this molded area right here, these lines and these little pieces right here just molded in, and yeah, it's like more clean and crisp. But for Sunstreaker, it's not the same thing. For the thighs, they're more clean, they're cleaner. You got a little piece right here sticking out, and you got this little piece just sitting inside the thigh like that. And the hips, they're not even the same pieces from Wheeljack's hips. They're totally different molds, and I think that's gonna confuse a lot of people, because considering that Sunstreaker's hips are done in yellow and then Wheeljack's hips are done in black, it's kind of hard to see whether they're the same mold or totally different molds. And in my eyes, in my sharp eagle eyes, they are totally different molds. They're not even the same piece. And the crotch is also not the same piece. You can see on the front, for Wheeljack's crotch is pretty clean, but for Sunstreaker's crotch, there's a lot of things going on here for the crotch. There's a lot of molded detail in the crotch area, so it's not the same thing. It's not the same figure. Well, yes, I do agree that they do share the similar engineering, but in my eyes anyway, they're not, they're not related to each other. They're not based on each other. Sunstreaker is totally is a brand new mold apart from Wheeljack. It's you just have to look deeper into the molding, between the two. You just have to look very deep in the context of it, and not even these pieces. These pieces, they don't even share. I mean, you can see Wheeljack's shoulder hinge right here is way different than Sunstreaker. It's not the same piece. While it may look similar, but it's not the same thing. It's not the same piece. And yeah, and also the neck joint right here. The neck joint is not even the same thing. It's not even the same piece. Look at that. It's different. It's a totally different mold. If I bring down the chest right here, and let's see whether they share the inner part of the chest. And no, they don't share anything. See? You see, they don't share anything. You have to look carefully at the angles right here. You have to look closely. You have to bring the figures closer and see. Are they the same thing? No, they're not the same thing. Look at that. They don't even share that. Do they share this hinge? Do they share this hinge? Let me see. No, it's not the same piece. You see? It's totally different. This is more rigid. There's more ridges going on here on that hinge. Whereas Wheeljack, there's nothing. There's really nothing. So they don't even share that. So between Wheeljack and Sunstreaker, they share nothing with each other. They don't even share any parts. They don't even share, I mean, they share a similar transformation scheme, but no, it's still not the same transformation, because you have these pieces that flip out, and the way that his waist transforms, you have to rotate it 2 times, and that's different. And the way his hands transform as well, they flip in, whereas Wheeljack's hands, they don't even flip in. And this has happened before. This has happened in Age of Extinction, where they actually released the Deluxe Class Lockdown, who has the similar transformation scheme with Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Roadbuster, and those two figures are totally different molds. They don't even share anything with each other. They share a transformation scheme, but it doesn't mean that Lockdown is an extensive remold of Roadbuster. It doesn't mean the same thing. It's not the same thing. Yes, you can see that Sunstreaker and Wheeljack, they have kind of a similar stance to them. They have a similar stature, like the way they stand, the way they pose, but it's still they're still different from each other. They're very, very different from each other. They're totally different molds between each other. So yeah, because originally TF Wiki did say that Sunstreaker is an extensive remold of Wheeljack. That's what I thought. But when I got the figure, I looked at it and I compared Sunstreaker and Wheeljack together, and looking at them right now, when I looked at them and when I reviewed Sunstreaker a while back, and I said, this feels like a brand new mold, and I went to TF Wiki and they confirmed my speculations on Sunstreaker. They confirmed that Sunstreaker is indeed a brand new mold, while he is sharing similar engineering with Wheeljack. So it doesn't necessarily have to say that Sunstreaker is an extensive remold. When you say something is an extensive remold, they have to share some parts between each other. They have to share same parts. But with Sunstreaker and Wheeljack, nothing. They share nothing. There's nothing similar with these figures. No molding similarities between these figures. It's totally different, you know? And I think that's the part where every like most of us Transformers reviewers get confused with. And yeah, so in conclusion, Sunstreaker is totally different. It's a brand new figure, brand new mold, as I would say. So, I mean, if you do say that, if you still think that Sunstreaker is an extensive remold of Wheeljack, then that is perfectly fine. Then you are not wrong. All I'm trying to say is that try to look deeper and deeper until you notice that Sunstreaker is a totally different mold. It's not even related to Wheeljack. So yeah, so I mean, we already know that this figure has been repainted and slightly remolded to become Cordon and Spin Out, but previously there's no relation between Wheeljack and Sunstreaker. There's no parts that they share. They do share, similar transformation scheme, but not exactly the same. There's a little bit of difference here in the transformation. So yeah, so that's all I want to say about Sunstreaker and Wheeljack, and see whether Sunstreaker is a brand new mold to confirm my speculations even better. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this quick update video for Sunstreaker. I hope you understand even better for what am I trying to say? I hope you understand even more for Sunstreaker being a brand new mold, and just don't try to assume that Sunstreaker is totally an extensive remold of Wheeljack. All I'm trying to say is just try to look deeper. Try to look deeper in context, try to look deeper into the molding, and see whether they have any similarities going on here. And since I showed you the differences between Sunstreaker and Wheeljack, and they don't even share any parts, so that concludes that Sunstreaker is a brand new mold. So that is pretty much it for me to say. So there you have my quick update video for Earthrise Sunstreaker, and this is JJ Prime signing off. Peace out.